Hello, beautiful people of the internet. How are you doing today? My name is Jackie, and welcome back to another novel writing vlog. I have been making a series of vlogs chronicling my writing and editing process for my first manuscript, a historical mystery novel I have nicknamed Project Mayfair, and I am going to tell you a little bit more about my work in progress later in this video. First off, so last time we talked, I said some things in my life were not going great, and that's still true. I've had a lot of stress recently. I'm not going to go into specifics. I'm just going to be honest and say, like, my stress levels and my mental health this week have been all over the place, but on the bright side, I'm happy with how editing Project Mayfair is going. This morning I reread up to, I think, chapter 30, and the draft is 41 chapters, so I've reread most of it, and by and large, I'm really happy with the draft now that I've been making these edits to it. I think my current word count is around 91,400, which is still slightly long, but I feel like if I were to submit a manuscript of this length, I feel like it wouldn't be a deal breaker for an agent or a publisher. It's not that long, you know? After I finish rereading the entire manuscript, I think my plan is to give it to my mother to read first. She's going to be my alpha reader, as they call it. I just want to get her thoughts and to see if she thinks there's anything that really needs to be changed. And then once she's read it, I'm going to work on getting some beta readers. I also mentioned in my last vlog that I was taking a creative writing class again with a lot of the same people who were in the class the last time I took it. And I do think there are some people in that class who would be willing to be a beta reader for me. I was talking about my project with someone from class during our first session, that was this Thursday, and they seemed really interested in it and said they would love to read it, so hopefully there will be some people who'll be willing to take a look at it for me. I do want to submit this manuscript, but I do want to get some people's thoughts before I do that, because I've never written an entire full-length novel before, and if I'm going to submit to agents, I want to put my best foot forward, obviously. Another exciting thing that's coming up. So I mentioned in previous vlogs that I signed up to join the Mystery Writers of America, and I also signed up to attend a webinar this Monday night, and the webinar is going to be on, I believe, the history of forensics, which sounds really interesting to me because, again, I'm a historical mystery lover. I'm writing a historical mystery, and so talking about developments in forensics throughout the past, that topic just sounds really interesting to me, and I'm so excited to go and hopefully learn some really useful information. So I think that's it for the intro to this vlog. I'm happy with how my editing process is going, and though other things in my life have been causing me a lot of grief, I'm just gonna try to keep a positive attitude, move onward and upward, you know? So that's it for this intro, and I will talk to you very soon. Hello, so I have not quite finished editing this second draft yet. Last night I got to the middle of chapter 38. There are 41 chapters total, so almost there in the home stretch, and I'm happy with how the draft is sounding, so all is going pretty well. Then tonight I'm going to that Mystery Writers of America webinar, which should be very exciting. Hopefully it will be informative and fun. And obviously I would be happy to share any valuable tips that I pick up there with you all if I think that would be helpful. Then after that, I'm going to hopefully get my mother to read this draft sometime soon, just so I can get her thoughts before I send it to any beta readers. I've also started working on some questions for the beta readers. I have almost 20 questions, just open-ended questions for them to answer after they read the book. I've just typed into Google questions to ask your beta readers, and a lot of the articles that pop up have the same or very similar questions, and they were kind of already in line with the things that I was considering asking them in my head. So that's the latest status, and I will talk to you after my webinar. Hello, so a few updates. I went to this webinar on Monday night and it was very enjoyable. The talk was by this woman named Carrie Cathers. That's Kerry, and her last name is spelled Cathers. Definitely look her up if you are writing a historical mystery or are just interested in the history of forensics, because she apparently has a lot of resources for people writing about crime in the 19th century. She gave a very good talk. I took notes and she talked a lot about when like certain scientific developments first occurred, like when did people start learning about how fingerprints could be used to solve crime, or what kind of knowledge of ballistics would people have in 1813, things like that. So it was very interesting and I enjoyed listening to her presentation. I also wanted to show you some writing related books I just purchased, and that's going to lead to my discussion about what my book, Project Mayfair, is about. So first, I bought this book because I saw multiple videos on YouTube talking about what a great resource is. So I bought the Emotion Thesaurus, a Writer's Guide to Character Expression, 2nd edition by Angela Ackerman and Becca Puglisi. I don't know if I'm saying her name right, but this is to help you learn how to describe characters' emotions. It has so many different emotions, like defiance, disgust, jealousy, longing, love. Every emotion under the sun is in here, and it gives you some examples of body language you could use to show that emotion. So here, I opened it up to devastation. So, physical signs and behaviors. Asking someone to repeat the news out of utter disbelief. Laying a splayed out hand against one's chest. Needing to sit or be supported, etc., etc. And then it also has internal sensations associated with that emotion, mental responses, acute or long-term responses for this emotion, signs that this emotion is being suppressed, may escalate to, and then it lists other emotions, or may de-escalate to and lists other emotions. And it also has associated power verbs to use with this emotion. So definitely going to use this from now on. I heard multiple people say that it's a really great resource when you're looking to describe emotion in writing. I'm hoping this will make my writing and my descriptors and my body language better. So I got this. So then I also bought Murder 1, a Writer's Guide to Homicide. I feel kind of like silly admitting that I bought this, but this is by Mauro V. Corvasce. I'm definitely saying that wrong. And Joseph R. Paglino. And it basically discusses all the different types of murders, the different murder weapons, and some famous examples of those specific murder types and the psychology of why people might commit a certain murder or commit a murder a certain way. So for example, it has weapons of murder, business and financial murders, narcotics murders, organized crime, contract, familial, stranger, crime of passion, etc., etc., and even a chapter on bizarre murders. So I will be reading this for writing research only. And the other book that I bought to help me with Project Mayfair is Tales from Bow Street by Joan Locke. So this is a nonfiction book about the Bow Street Magistrates Court. And basically, in case you did not know, the Bow Street Magistrates Court was home to this group known as the Bow Street Runners, and they were basically London's first real organized police force and the precursor to Scotland Yard. Funnily enough, the Bow Street Runners were actually originally founded in the 1700s by Henry Fielding. I forgot his first name for a second. The author of Tom Jones. kind of random, but yeah, he also founded the precursor to the modern day London Metropolitan Police. Get you a man who can do both. I bought this book for research because in Project Mayfair, my main male hero is a Bow Street runner. So this is research for the book. I did read online that they actually did not like to be referred to as the runners. They found that term derogatory for a reason I'm not quite sure of. I saw a lot of articles say they didn't like being called the runners, but I don't know if any of them gave a specific reason why they did not like that, but they preferred to be called constables or investigators, things like that. So they actually didn't call themselves the runners, even though that's the name that they're most known by. So yes, that's your first little tidbit about Project Mayfair. The main male character does work for the Bow Street Runners, and you may have noticed this if you watched my last vlog. The vlog just went out today when I'm filming this, so I don't know if anyone has noticed yet, but in that shot where I was sharing my screen with you, if you paid close attention, you would have seen that the year Project Mayfair takes place was on the screen. I don't know if any of you noticed it, but the book does take place in the year 1811. So it's the very beginning of the Regency era, everyone. Yes, yes, yes. I'm currently propping my phone up on my Jane Austen candle, but yes, I love the Regency, I love Jane, and if this book is a success, I owe part of it to you, girlfriend. Specifically, this book is set in March 1811, and the reason that I picked that date is because it is 1 month after the Regency era officially began, because the future King George IV was officially named the Prince Regent in February 1811, so I figured by setting this book right in the very beginning of the Regency, if it does become a series, then I can get the most mileage out of the Regency era as possible. And that was the logic behind it. If you want to get technical, the Regency era is a part of the larger Georgian era, and it technically takes place from February 1811 until January 1820 when George III died, though you do sometimes hear people say Regency when they really mean Georgian. Technically, the Regency itself was only about 9 years, so it really wasn't that long at all. But it's a time that I'm very interested in because I've loved Jane Austen my entire life, and I just think it's a really interesting time. And like I said, the concept for Project Mayfair was born out of, I mentioned this in my very first writing vlog, but the reason I originally came up with this idea for Project Mayfair is I was writing a contemporary mystery thriller where one of the characters was an author, and I wanted to come up with a plot line for her books. Like, what did this fictional author write that made her so famous? And I decided I would make it a historical mystery just because I enjoy those. And when I was trying to think of a fake historical mystery plot, I thought to myself, well, when should I say that these mysteries are set? You know, I'll just pick the Regency because I like the Regency. I love Jane Austen and all that. So let's just say, yeah, it's set in the Regency. There we go. And then I realized that I actually wanted to write the Regency mystery. So that's what I ended up doing, you know? I just kind of came up with a basic plot on a whim just to work on a different concept, and then I ended up writing 92,000 words of a Regency mystery using that plot that I came up with in like 30 minutes. And now I'm here. So, to recap, the book's set in Mayfair in London. The main male character works for the Bow Street Runners, and it's set in the beginning of the Regency era. The other thing I will say about this is I did want this book to have 2 lead characters. I wanted my male and female lead to be equals in the novel, and in my draft you get third-person points of view from both my main male character and my main female character. I consider them both to be equally as important. They're co-leads in the story. In my opinion, there are 3 types of historical mysteries. I think historical mysteries with a main male lead are the least common. There are very popular examples, but by and large, women tend to be the kind of people who enjoy historical mysteries, so a lot of them do cater towards women. We have a lot of historical mysteries that involve a female lead who is very intelligent and headstrong and stubborn and, you know, she just does what she wants, fights the patriarchy while she fights crime. And in those books, sometimes, you know, she's a strong, independent woman who is not interested in matrimony. And other times she does have a love interest, but the love interest is kind of more so like her sidekick than her equal. You know, the author wants you to see her as the brilliant one, and then there's this guy who, he's not a slouch, but he can't compete with her brilliance. What I really wanted was to write a book where the main male and female character are on the same level in terms of their intelligence, their abilities, and their role in the story. So I would say that Project Mayfair fits into the 3rd category of historical mysteries, which are the historical mysteries that really center on a duo. A lot of them are romantic male-female duos. You also have some historical mysteries where it's 2 female friends or 2 male colleagues and they're the duo the series is about. But I really wanted it to be like that, where there are 2 main characters and the series is about them together as partners in crime solving and maybe in something more, you know, see how it goes. And that's the kind of story that I wanted to write. I wanted them to just both be seen as equally important and to give them both strengths and flaws. They're both very smart and very capable, and they also both have negative qualities, and hopefully, you know, the 2 of them together, they'll end up making the perfect team. My main female character, yeah, like most historical mystery girls, she's very headstrong and stubborn, and she's extremely intelligent and witty, and also, you know, sometimes she's a bit impulsive, but you gotta love her. So I hope this book will work out, and someday you'll get to meet her. And him. So, yeah. That would be really exciting. Honestly. Oh, I got kind of like, I don't know, just saying that out loud kind of evoked some sort of emotional response in me. Like, yeah, I hope someday you'll get to meet these characters that I created and you'll like them. Hello again. So I think I'm going to wrap up this vlog here. It is getting a little long, so I think this is a natural stopping point. I have finished with draft 2. I will talk a little bit more about that in the next writing vlog. I'm gonna wrap up this vlog and then I'm going to start filming another one talking about how I finished up with draft 2 and my steps towards the beta reader process. I've never had to look for beta readers before, so this is going to be a new experience for me. I am hoping, like I said, that my mom will be able to give me some feedback, and hopefully some people from my writers group would be willing to help me out and read my draft. I've already had 1 or 2 people who seem like they would be interested, so I'm going to explore that in the next vlog. But that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed learning a little more about Project Mayfair. If you are still here watching, why don't you comment? What can you comment? Isn't there a detective emoji? Can you comment the detective emoji? I think there is one, like a little Sherlock Holmes looking guy or gal with a deerstalker cap. Why don't you comment one of those if you're still watching this video? Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more from me. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday. My social media links are down below if you want to follow me on Tumblr, Instagram, or be my friend on Goodreads. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye, and I'll see you in the next video.